I was probably an emo kid. Like, I hung out with most of the emo kids. I didn't really dress emo, but it was probably considered emo. Hanging out in the smoker's pit, driving around, smoking weed in random people's cars, just hanging out with all the other hoodlums in town, drinking, being rebellious like emo kids are. Like, I grew up with like both my parents being alcoholics, and like realized that I was pretty much destined for the same fate if I didn't make the decision myself to not follow that path. And also just being from such a small town where everyone stays and no one ever leaves, and everyone just gets into that routine of working and coming home drinking, doing the same thing day after day, weekend after week. I realized that that wasn't the life that I wanted, so moved away up north in Manitoba for a little bit before I moved out west, and just like realized that there's so much more in life to offer than sitting in a basement or sitting in someone's house drinking and smoking and wasting away the days instead of being productive and doing things and making memories. Just like it felt like obtainable, like because like no one ever left, and like watching everyone around, like my mom hanging out with the same people she hung out with in high school, and like my dad hanging out with the same people he hung out in high school, just realizing like always figured that like there was no way out, and realizing like that there was a way out, just like, and realizing that I could venture off on my own and go into my own world and do and create my own thing, just like was just liberating, I guess is the word, or like freeing, and just felt like there was a whole different world than I thought, and a whole different world than I realized, and had like a whole new world to discover, opposed to just doing the same thing that I've seen everyone else in my life do. As cliche as it sounds, to just always like do what like you want to do, and don't worry about the opinions or like what other people are gonna think, or like when I left home, everyone's like, oh, I'll see you in a couple weeks, like haha, like you're not gonna, like you'll move home in a couple weeks, and like just being able to prove people wrong and like prove yourself wrong, that you can actually do something, is just like the best feeling that you can have, that even makes sense really. Yeah. Song's like, it's obviously pretty deep, and it's just, it kind of can go hand in hand with leaving my hometown and leaving a relationship. Sometimes is just like the best thing to do, and like sometimes even if you think you're stuck in that relationship, as hard as it is to let go, sometimes it is the best thing for you, and as much as it sucks at the time, that in the future it'll obviously like be better. As hard as things are, sometimes you can always get over it, and you can always move past the struggles and the obstacles, whether it's in life or in a relationship or whatever it is, your job or whatever. Being introverted causes like me to have anxiety sometimes, especially when I'm on stage and around big groups of people and stuff. But again, just pushing yourself through and like doing things that you're uncomfortable doing. I've always said I'm comfortable being uncomfortable. As dumb as that sounds, it makes sense to me, and kind of makes sense to do what I do. Like in high school, like I couldn't even like do a class presentation without like freaking out and like getting mad anxiety in front of 30 kids. So being able to get on stage in front of, I've performed in like a crowd of 600 people, so like being able to do that is just obviously a struggle, but it's also like so fulfilling doing it, and then thinking like I can't, or having like that fear that I'm gonna fail, and then still being able to accomplish it in the end. Again, it sounds cliche, but as hard as it is, and like as hard as life is sometimes, and as bad as it is, and as tough as you think it is, and thinking you're never gonna get better and nothing's ever gonna get better, it always does. And something I've taught myself recently is that whenever I'm having anxiety, or I'm depressed about something, or like I'm upset about something, that to just remind myself that that fear or that anxiety is only temporary, and that feeling is only going to be there momentarily, and that just kind of helps me get through, knowing that like, again, those feelings always will pass eventually. You can get through anything, and suicide's never the answer.
Sometimes I wanna cry, I'm not afraid to admit it. Thoughts of suicide, damn, I should be committed. Figure I should pull the trigger, say good riddance, but I still got so much to say. So I'ma spit it till you get it. I'm just trying to show you the truth, cause I've been taught to lose, lost and confused. Now I'm not amused. We need to fix this mess we made, or it'll whittle our hearts away. Nah, I'm not okay. I'm not ready to say goodbye, but I need you by my side. Got me going out my mind, got me going crazy, baby. Maybe you hate me, maybe I hate you, maybe I hate me. meet you. Where were you when we lost the way? When the nights were cold